Play that time by Smith. For a big guy, he really moves his feet well.
Timeout called here by the West. They're going to talk it over.
Fan voting is what determines the starters in the All-Star game. Then the coaches will decide on the reserves. But either way, whether you're picked by the fans or the coaches, earning the title NBA All-Star, that's an honor none of these players will ever forget.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He has 7. Wembanyama, no good. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Buries it down low. He has 7.
Yeah, such a crafty move. That's an All-Star game special right there, folks.
That certainly isn't any regular season move. I agree with that. I mean, you save that kind of move for the big stage of the All-Star week.
Here's Giannis. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Once Giannis gets that close to the rim, you know that he'll do everything he can to make the finish happen.
Well, Greg, one thing we know for sure, you know that every player who earned a spot on this roster is going to see his share of action. Spreading the minutes evenly, as you've always talked about, is always a top priority for these All-Star game coaches.
You're so right, Kevin. I mean, for all the hard work these players put in to get here, I mean, each one deserves a chance, if you will, to share the spotlight. It's one of the great things about the All-Star game.
Gilgeous-Alexander finds Antetokounmpo from 11 feet away, and Domantas Sabonis pulls it down. The East leading by 22. Pass to Mathurin. For 3. And another 3 from the East.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
And, you know, the lead just keeps growing. I mean, this game is not going to get out of their grip. They're going to keep pulling away.
Tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
West All-Stars shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. Free throw, good. Jokic.
You know, what makes Jokic truly exceptional in my mind is the versatility. You know, he's a really good passer, and that to me is a tremendous distinction, not to mention how he scores and does the other stuff he does out there.
Catching up on the changes for the East. Chad Holmgren comes in for Domantas Sabonis, and it's Morant in for Zach LaVine.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on him.
Pass to Wembanyama. There's Miller with the 3. A three-pointer is right on target. Miller's got 8 points.
Boy, the defense really wasn't bad there, but he's a gifted shooter from distance.
Morant outside. And another 3 from the East.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little. Back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. 7 points in the game.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Over to the left wing. Now here's Holmgren from the arc.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Jokic kicks to Halliburton. Misses the 3. The East leading by 23. Good D by Miller. The West All-Stars have made the most out of their opportunities at the line. They have yet to miss in 7 attempts. So for the West, Paolo Banchero's checked in for Jokic. And it's Jason Tatum in for Victor Wembanyama.
Substitution on the court.
And here's Miller. He'll bring it up for the West. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Paolo Banchero. That is his first foul of the game. The West All-Stars making a switch here. Heroes checked in. Greg, their unselfish play has really been impressive.
They're trusting one another out there, wanting to get each other involved. This is great basketball.
Now, Hero, following the miss by John Morant. Shots good by Hero.
Jason Tatum scores, but also creates for his teammates, a sign of his continuing growth as a player.
Morant dishes to Doncic. And another miss by the East. Here's Banchero. Outside for Halliburton. Banchero is screened for Halliburton. Tries again, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Jabari Smith picks one up.
Love seeing Banchero play with that kind of force, making the defense figure out how they're going to deal with him.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. The 3 from Morant. And oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Ringing the bell. That's the way to close a quarter.
Talk about lifting up a team and energizing them at the end of a quarter. A 3 at the buzzer.
And we welcome you back. The biggest stars of the league are putting on a show here at the All-Star Game.
And we're seeing some world-class basketball being played here tonight.
That's exactly what you'd expect coming from the absolute greatest players on the planet.
On the court for the West All-Stars, getting the 4th quarter going. Miller is out there with Antetokounmpo, and it's Fox. Then it's Tyler Hero, and it's Jokic in at center, locking down the middle. Here's Antetokounmpo. After the basket by Franz Wagner. Fox passes to Giannis. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. The East leading by 23. Passes it to Duran. Wagner from long range. It's hauled in by Jokic. Jokic has got 6 rebounds here tonight.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off. And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Now, here's Doncic from deep. Connects from 3-point range.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Now, here's Fox. Defense is right there. And one of the big changes to college basketball, Clark, as you know, the NIL, name, image, and likeness. It seems like that would impact the choice to enter the NBA draft.
I don't think there's any question it's had that impact. Some guys that were borderline draft picks now not being penalized for being on scholarship can monetize their name, image, and likeness and do so to the tune of some fairly significant dollars in some cases. And even if the money is not NBA large, it still can close the gap for a family of a player that might be struggling and could use some additional income.
Out to the right wing, and Jokic wide open. He shoots off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Now the pass to Wagner. Doncic outside. Chalk up 2 there.
Well, he's just zoned in. I mean, in most cases, taking quality shots very much within the flow of the offense.
Fox finds Hero. It's Miller on the wing. Up top, Hero. Guarded by Doncic. Shot clock at 6. Antetokounmpo passes to Jokic. The kick out to Fox. Fires the 3. And it's Wagner with the rebound. Timeout called, East All-Stars. And Clark, we know Commissioner Silver has acknowledged the game has changed in terms of its impact on players' bodies. And so adjusting the regular season's length is not out of the question.
Well, you and I have talked about it for years. I've talked about it with other fellow announcers. It would be wonderful to see the season reduced by about 15-20% in terms of regular season games. I think it would enhance the product immensely. And the fact that Commissioner Silver is letting us know it's not off the table, maybe we'll see it reduced in the not-too-distant future.
Catching up on changes for the West. Wembanyama, he's checked in for Miller. Halliburton comes in for Tyler Hero. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander subbed in for Fox. So it's the West now. After the basket by the East All-Stars on the other end. Shoots from 12. And Wembanyama throws it down.
Oh, and the crowd goes crazy after seeing that finish.
Yep, a throwdown appropriate for the occasion. That's how to get these fans revved up and excited.
To the inside, Levine, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And these days, you know, Clark, the trade for a star player takes a stockpile of draft picks, doesn't it?
Well, that seems to be the one way you can assure yourself of getting a proven star somewhere in the area of his prime. You know, and it doesn't always work out for both parties. Teams typically, in that case, would have to mortgage a bit of their future to get a player of that caliber. So it is tilted towards more risk than reward in most of those scenarios.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander on the mark with the 15-footer.
And he had a good look, and Gilgeous-Alexander made it pay off.
Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Out to the wing. Fires the three. And another miss by the East. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for the West. Halliburton passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Love the read there from Antetokounmpo. I mean, his basketball IQ is really impressive when it comes to alley-oop attempts.
Smith on the wing. The three. Good on the triple.
In perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Wembanyama. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
How about the floor awareness by Gilgeous-Alexander? Solid at just spotting his open teammate. Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact, straightforward call, simple.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the East All-Stars?
Their accuracy in this one has just been on another level. I mean, the three ball keeps falling, and the defense just hasn't been able to run them off the line.
And the thing I've seen that I've really been impressed by is they've gotten everybody involved, unselfishly making that extra pass, getting that ball to the right guy at the right time for the good shot.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Wembanyama outside. Mathurin against Giannis. The West All-Stars need to get a shot off here.
Smith with a nice job on that defensive stand. His length, really an asset.
To the paint, and stolen by Wembanyama. And here's the fast break. Here's Halliburton. Back to Wembanyama. East grabs the miss.
Yeah, you won't see him miss many dunks unless you've got somebody right in his face, as was the case there on that possession.
Wembanyama with the rebound.
Mintz, second personal foul. Second team foul.
And he makes the first.
Wembanyama at the line. 2 shots.
And both free throws good for Wembanyama. And here are the East All-Stars now. Left side, Levine. Three-pointer. Good on the three-point shot.
Well, and this has been their strategy throughout the fourth period. We'll see how it pans out.
You know what? Teams can get a little three happy down the stretch sometimes, letting it fly.
Pass to Giannis. Some nice passing here by the West. Here's Here's Jokic, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Jabari Smith picks one up.
Well, I love how crafty Jokic is. You know, he basically baits defenders into committing the foul once he gets deep position.
And Jokic drops them both. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They set the screen. Fires from deep. It's in.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
So it's the East All-Stars winning this one easily.
And guys, while the result and the bragging rights go to the East, this was truly a night that belonged to the fans. I mean, it was another great showcase of the world-class talent across the NBA.
It seems to get better and better every year, doesn't it, Greg? It's so fun to watch. It was certainly a fun evening. We thank all of you for joining us and watching with us. For Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan. We'll see you again next time.